Is this a scam?
I think a lot of people tried to tell us it was a scam. Yeah. So it's kind of, you tell people like, well, you can't do that, it's subletting.
Yeah.
He didn't want it to be an Airbnb and he pulled out, and that was like heartbreaking. It was like, I think that was when I learned that you can't sort of rule with your heart. I think it just shows though that you do need to be quite resilient and kind of keep going. It's that kind of business. You can't kind of just get fed up after like a month.
What is the occupancy this month?
So it's like for here, for July, nearly 100%.
Wow.
Got 2 nights, so tonight is free and another night, and that's it. But we both still work full time and manage to run it on like a few hours a week, really.
Hours a week.
For both.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, welcome. This is Helen and Dave. We are in Middleton in Teesdale, which I believe is in County Durham, and it's quite literally in the middle of nowhere. So this is Helen and Dave's second Airbnb we're currently sat in. It's absolutely stunning. So yeah, Helen, Dave, please introduce yourselves.
I'm Dave.
I'm Helen, and we're married, and we've got 2 boys. So yeah, this is our second rent-to-rent property.
Amazing, perfect. So guys, let's start from the very, very, very beginning. Where were you at before you found the academy, and what was your thought process into getting into rent-to-rent Airbnb?
So it all started with a conversation with our family. So we always go on holiday to Devon every year, to a lovely area, and we always joke about one day owning a home down there. So when we came back last year, we decided to look into if this was viable. So we looked at releasing equity in our own houses to try and sort of put a deposit down on somewhere. And then we found a course, we did like a webinar course, and that touched on rent to rent. And then we found you guys on Instagram and decided this was probably the way to go. So the idea is that we want to kind of, build up a pot of money to eventually put that as a deposit to buy somewhere. So that's kind of the end goal.
Yeah. So the dream really is to get this place in Devon, to have this sort of holiday home that you guys can go and visit.
All the family can kind of use. And it was because I'd been self-employed for sort of 7 years and, wasn't really thinking about a pension. So it was kind of like, what do we invest in? Do we look at a pension or do we invest in property? So that was kind of where the thought process was, wasn't it, from a year ago.
Fantastic. Perfect. And so you came across us on Instagram. You can be totally honest. What was your initial thoughts? Is this a scam?
I think a lot of people tried to tell us it was a scam. Yeah. So it's kind of, you tell people like, well, you can't do that, it's subletting.
Yeah.
And everyone says that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then you have to explain, well, if you're a limited company and you put a company let agreement on, you can do it. And it was just knowledge, like doing all the research. And I think everything we look through a lot of your videos and things, and it's like, oh, I've never heard of this. And no one around us had heard of it. So that was kind of I'm kind of a bit of a risk taker, I suppose, and kind of think, well, you don't get anything in this life, you don't get it handed to you on a plate, do you? And you've got to kind of take a leap of faith sometime. And I think we just got on with you on the initial call, which helped. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's the thing that's crazy. We've been doing this for over 6 years now, and people are still like, well, that's a scam, that's subletting, that's illegal, you can't do it. And we try and obviously educate as many people as possible about it. But it's still like really hidden away.
Yeah.
And just not enough people know that you can actually do this. And it feels like a really untapped strategy compared to the traditional routes, which is buy to let or HMOs or flips, BRR, all that sort of stuff. So it's super interesting. Tell me about your process into outreach. So landlord, letting agent outreach. How did that go for you guys? It was the first step, and you guys had a real tough time with it. Like on record, probably the worst love out of anyone in the academy. And I didn't want to tell you at the time, but I was like, these guys are really going through it.
We tried,
hard,
didn't we?
We
tried many years.
Yeah, we found an amazing property in Morpeth in Northumberland, which is another area that we love. And it had just been newly redone. It was an old dairy, then it had been a bar. It had so much character. And we just like fell in love with this place, just thought that was going to be it. We got a cleaner lined up and everything. And then after about 5 weeks into thinking it was going to be ours, the landlord decided he didn't want it to be an Airbnb, and he pulled out. And that was like heartbreaking. It was like, I think that was when I learned that you can't sort of rule with your heart. You have to rule with your head.
Yeah.
And like,
We've
I
been and
was
bought furniture
really-
and everything, haven't we?
Yeah,
We've
we
got
started
furniture for
buying-
it, innit?
You kidding me?
we started buying furniture.
Yeah.
It was weird how it happened. We literally got the call. We'd been at a wedding, and we got the call on like the morning, like the Monday or something, from the agent. She was like, "Oh yeah, the landlord's signing tomorrow or whatever." And then we didn't hear anything for a couple of days, and then it was like, "Oh, he's changed his mind." And yeah, it was very disheartening. But I think in a way it was probably too good to be true, because it was this like pristine property. It's stacked up on paper, but in a way it was probably a bit too far for our first one.
Sure. Yeah.
So it was about an hour and 40
I was gonna
minutes
say,
away.
a couple hours away,
And I
one,
think
yeah.
in hindsight, looking back, it's probably a good thing we didn't get it, because now, you do need to pop to the properties, and like, I think it's better to start nearer to home.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. And then we nearly got another one, which was that was a family member had a tenant in for 15 years, and they'd moved out, and it was a bungalow, and we really nearly took that on, but it was a big property on a big plot of land, lots of grass to cut, hedges, and I was like, really want to do it, and then we kind of thought, you know what, it's just too much, and it needed the boiler needed boxing in, the kitchen, the worktop needed it needed a lot of money spending on it, and again, that was me, like, you can't like go off what you sort of feel. It's like you've got to have a business head on, and we sort of walked away from that.
I ended up
didn't
going
we?
around all the estate agents in lots of little towns and everything.
Yeah.
You didn't give up.
We didn't
No.
give up. No,
No.
it was a hard time though. I think it was at the point we were kind of like, this isn't going to work, and we're never going to break through. And then it's like we got our lucky break. So
You were always just so close, so
I
that's
know.
that's
It was
the
every
thing.
time. Yeah.
I think it just shows though that you do need to be quite resilient and kind of keep going. It's that kind of business. You can't kind of just get fed up after like a month. You've got to be in it for the long haul, I guess. But I think if you've got a goal in mind, it's fine, isn't it? So yeah.
Absolutely. So you managed to get you broke through even. Sorry. You get your first unit, which is in Ripon, which we're very familiar with. That's what our first unit was. Absolutely. And then talk us through how you got this one then. How did this one come about? Was it the same amount of outreach?
This was quite lucky. So it was so this is actually in the town I grew up in, and we saw it come up as a normal rental on Rightmove, and I knew that the agent it was with probably wouldn't be familiar with rent to rent, and it would just be a no. So we knew from talking to you guys it was going to be best to try and get to the landlord, which we did. So we kind of through a few channels managed to get the number of the landlady, and I just texted her explaining what we did, and she was quite up for it, and she said, "Oh, well, that sounds good," because we were thinking about selling, and if we did this we would still be able to use it. So we met her and we got on really well, and there was like that trust there and a lot of rapport there, because like we knew the same people. She liked the fact that like we'd grown up locally and stuff. She knew we would look after it. So but we had to wait a while for this one, because she was in quite a long contract with like a cottage's website, so we had to wait a while. So when we took this on, it was actually like in the winter, so it wasn't like the best time to start it, but it gave us time to get it ready and kind of get everything listed to before Easter, which was perfect. So
You said there we were kind of lucky with this one, right? But to me that doesn't sound like luck, because you identified it on a letting agent's website or Rightmove, and you thought that's probably not going to fly with them, and you were like, right, okay, well, how else can we find out who the landlord is? And it is that level of obsession that you almost need to put your investigative hat on and be like, right, okay, how can I secure that property? And you went and you made the calls and you spoke to people and eventually got there through a few different channels and landed the property. And and so there's a lot of people that think, oh well, I'll reach out on Rightmove, and if it's a no, then it's no, I'll give up. But it's not. You can go further than that and actually try and have that conversation with the landlord, which is always going to land better with them than it is a letting agent.
And I think it shows they were kind of on the fence whether to rent it out or to sell, and we gave like like a third option, because we were like, well, if you go with us, you can still get used to the property.
Yeah.
And that was like the best of both worlds for her. So I think it just, it was a good fit as well. So it shows
was meant to be.
you can find those places without going through just thinking like Rightmove and everything. It's kind of going through a different channel, isn't it? So yeah, worked out.
Certainly did. So one thing that I really want to speak about is actually the location, like where we are right now. I mean, we've just done the drive from the M1 and it was ages. It's like I can't emphasize how much in the middle of nowhere we are. And it's funny because I speak to so many people who are always like, oh, it's Airbnb only works in a busy town or a busy city, or it's got to have whatever around it for it to work. But there's like, apart from the countryside and enjoying the countryside, there's not much else here, right? Unless I'm missing something.
There's a lot of tourist destinations, and
there's
think
a lot
the
of-
majority of them are tourist countryside related, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a lot of kind of castles, and there's like the waterfall and things that are quite well known around here.
Yeah.
Obviously it's most well known for its walks. It is similar to the Yorkshire Dales. We're obviously not a million miles from the Yorkshire Dales, but Teesdale, where we are, isn't as well known. So, but we are on the Pennine Way.
Right,
So
yeah.
it's classed as like North Pennines, Durham Dales kind of area. So a lot of people that walk do know it. But the demographics like surprised us. We've had like a real mixed bag of people stay, a mix of like multi-generational groups, all girls, like on a girls' weekend. We've had just couples with their dog, and a good mix, which I think is quite good because it kind of shows it appeals to lots of different people as well, families and things.
So, but it is all mainly tourism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you're not chasing after business contractors or tradies?
we have
have
got,
had a couple,
I was going to say
yeah.
we've got a couple. We've got a bloke coming August.
Yeah, he's
or something
doing
like that,
work in the
He's
area.
working in the area.
Oh,
Right,
wow.
okay.
For the government, and then
Wow.
we had a work group last week or the week before
Yeah.
as well. So
So it's still a mixed bag.
It's a mix,
Yeah, mostly
Yeah.
tourism, but
Yeah.
which makes me more hopeful for how the winter will be. Like when
Yeah.
we see a full winter through, because
Definitely.
now we've had time to like build some good reviews and things. I think I'm more confident in it now
Yeah.
than I was in February. So
Well, I'll tell you, I'm very confident because let me ask you, what is the occupancy this month?
yeah, it's about 90% for July.
Crazy.
So good.
No, sorry, it's more. So
Yeah.
it's like for here, for
Nearly
July,
100%, isn't it?
nearly 100%.
Wow.
Got 2 nights. So tonight is free and another night, and that's it. It's full.
And what length sort of stays are there throughout the month?
A mix between 3 nights, and then we've got someone in for 11 nights. But mainly sort of, we normally have like 5 nights and then a weekend. And so it's been quite a mixture,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
Brilliant.
It's amazing.
How do you find running the properties then?
very different, the two of them.
Oh, the
Okay.
two were different.
Yeah.
So Ripon is apartment on its own.
Yeah.
So we've got a fabulous cleaner and she's on the ball with everything, isn't she? And because it's an apartment on its own, you've not got grounds to look after and things like that.
Of
as
course,
such.
yeah.
And obviously you generally get shorter stays there as well. Whereas here you'll get people stay for longer. I think more families and things like that will stay. So you've kind of got to think more about what they're going to be doing while they're here, preparing a little bit more for people staying longer. Then you've got the outside, which we've got noticed about over the weekend when all the grass grew really
we
long.
hadn't been up for like a month and realised it had got
yeah.
quite overflow.
Yeah, Ripon
forest.
doesn't have any grass, but this has loads of grass outside. So all of a sudden you realise, we need to get a gardener in.
Yeah, with a cottage, it's definitely more to think about. You know, you need like a window cleaner and maintenance of the outside, and it's those extras that we just don't have to worry about with the apartment. So it is a different bite. And then here we've got separate laundry company and a separate cleaner, and it's a little bit more to coordinate.
Yeah.
But it works. I think like the systems you guys recommend, like once that is set up. It pretty much does run itself, apart from, obviously there is communication with the cleaner and the laundry company, but I think it's surprising how
It
little
works.
time it
Yeah,
takes.
you get hiccups, but you sort them out, don't you?
Yeah, but we both still worked full time and managed to run it on
Yeah.
like a few hours a week, really.
Few hours a week.
Yeah,
For
pretty
both?
much. Yeah.
That's because you don't do the communication with them.
Dave's on 40 hours a week, just gets communication, chatting away all day.
The thing is, though, I can imagine you prolong these conversations because
Yeah.
you're just like talking to people.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
All the
sometimes
recommendations.
I'll try and have a chat with people and then you don't get a reply and you just
Yeah.
Hello,
It
you
is a
still
bit
there?
weird when you ask them what they're up to at the weekends.
Or sometimes Dave will put like something on there that I just think's too like matey, and I'll go on and read the message, and I'm like, you can't say that. Like, you're not talking to one of your customers that you've known for 10 years, Dave. Not everyone gets your humour, but yeah. On the whole, we get really friendly. We've had the odd one, haven't we, that's been a bit different, but
yeah.
like on the whole, people are friendly, and like you'll get a nice message when the checkout's in. They've had a lovely time.
It's
and,
always nice when you get that, isn't it?
yeah, really good.
Amazing. And I suppose, how often do you actually go and visit the properties?
So the one in Ripon, your work's quite near, so you occasionally have to call in, don't you?
Once a month.
Yeah, not much at all. Like I say, we've got really good cleaner, and she kind of just the eyes and ears and looks out for it,
Yeah.
sorts the bin, everything like that. So yeah, one bit of advice is definitely that your cleaner is worth their weight in
Absolutely.
gold. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Find someone like that is we've been
so
really
important.
fortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is really, cause it is they are your eyes and ears, and
Yeah.
they can they take on the little tasks and little jobs
Yeah.
that would be a real pain for you guys to go down and do, especially
Yeah.
down in Ripon, because that's like what, 45 minutes to
45
minutes.
yeah, so it's a long way out of your way. It's just good that your work is
Yeah.
en route. And I suppose for here, it's 20 minutes
Yeah.
up the
Yeah.
road, but you still only have to pop in once a month,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I think now it's up and running. It's just like kind of runs like clockwork, doesn't it? You do get the occasional thing.
We had an interesting one last
What?
week, didn't we? In
What?
Ripon. All the power went off.
Oh yeah, we had to power
All the
cut.
power.
For the whole apartment block?
Well, most of the apartment
Most
block.
of
Oh,
it,
gosh.
yeah.
So I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning to a voicemail at from 1:45 in the morning to say all the power's gone off, the alarm's going off.
Oh, wow.
Not slept very well. And I obviously rang him and
Yeah.
he wasn't delighted. He was all right. but
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Obviously, he was off until about 3:30
Okay,
in the
yeah.
afternoon.
Oh, in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah, in the afternoon.
The alarm
yeah,
was
yeah.
going off the whole time.
Yeah.
It was a Northern Power thing.
Yeah, so I rang Northern Power to start with. They were like, oh, no, we haven't had any of the reports. So then we rang the electrician who did the place,
Yeah.
who were brilliant, and they came out and they said, oh, no, it is a Northern Power thing. So then I rang the guest again, and they'd eventually managed to get out, but the gate where the car's parked, that didn't work because it's
yeah.
electric.
Oh,
So they couldn't get out, but I think someone must have manually opened it.
Right, yeah.
And then eventually we managed to get it back on again. And
Yeah. Was
was-
that a 5-star review?
yes.
You're kidding, really?
Yeah.
How did you save it from that?
the guest communication, clearly.
Yeah. You asked them what they're up to the weekend.
You were cracking jokes.
I didn't ask for a review because
Okay.
I thought it would be cheeky.
Yeah.
We turned
Yeah,
off
yeah.
the messages, didn't we?
yeah.
But yeah, he still left a 5-star review,
That is
which I was like, I was
insane.
delighted about.
Yeah, I can imagine.
There's how quickly you responded to it, and you rang the electrician as soon as
Yeah.
they were there, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was really like
Yeah.
good of him, wasn't it? So
Oh,
But it just goes to show, like, there's things that happen that are completely out of your best
Yeah.
control,
Yes,
and there's
yeah.
nothing
That's
you
what
can
he
do about
understood.
it.
He
Yeah.
understood that.
But you acted on it. You did your best to try and
Yeah.
resolve the situation as best you could. And some people are difficult, some people are understanding. So it sounds like you got the better end of the stick,
Yeah.
I guess.
Did you have to go to the property or
No,
not?
no.
So
I
you
did
managed it all
did
that
on the
to go.
while at a polo match.
You're living the life.
Just doing that. A couple of Airbnbs and we're going to polo.
it was with work.
It was a charity. It was a work charity one, yeah.
Wow. So, what does the future look like for you guys? How do you picture this business growing?
I think we'll
We'll definitely get more.
yeah, we want to kind of get in a place where, you know, we borrowed a chunk of money to start, so once that's paid off, I think we'll reinvest into another one and another. Like, I think we know that apartments are probably going to be the way
They're
to
going to be
go.
the easier.
Easier. Yeah, you
I think
maybe
if
like
you
have
had
a
more and
smaller
more
place.
cottages like this, obviously, because it does take a bit more
Yeah,
looking after. Obviously, it's
yeah, like we've found, for example, like the the heating bills are obviously a lot more on somewhere like this.
Yeah.
And because of the location of Ripon, the way the pricing, the dynamic pricing works, it's often more for a night in Ripon than it is here, and this is a 3-bed.
Wow.
Which seems weird, doesn't
Yeah,
it? But
yeah.
that's just the location we're in. And don't get me wrong, like the rent obviously reflects that. But yeah, I think we definitely want to grow it, don't we? I think we've learnt so much in a year. You kind of start and you think, oh, you know everything. Like, you know it, like you've read all the stuff, you've watched all the, and then you realise, like, no, you do learn as you go along. And there's things that crop up that you could never have thought about, like the power cut and like we had some issues to sort with the apartment that was out of our control with the gate and things at first, didn't we? But they've all got resolved.
Disco lights.
Disco lights
in the apartment.
Flashing lights.
Just randomly flashing all over the place.
Oh, nice.
Turned one off and the other one was flashing all over.
Bit of atmosphere going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the party switch.
It was you'd press it and then all of a sudden it would be like flashing somewhere else, and then the bathroom would go on and off, and then you'd be like, and because there's so many light switches in there, you forget which one you've pressed to which one was not. So
that was a process of elimination, wasn't it? The electrician, but it just shows like there is things that are going to crop up.
It's property.
And it's kind of
it's no different to anything in life.
Absolutely.
But we've each got our roles. Like you kind of manage most of the guest messaging, don't you? And things like that, like maintenance, you've kind of taken on board, and then I kind of,
What do you do?
taught the cleaners and marketing.
We might be having a domestic conversation.
I've done more like the promotional side, haven't I? So we've each and decorating.
Interior design.
Aesthetics.
And that is important.
That is important.
It's super important. We always find this because we do work with a lot of couples as well.
Yeah, we do.
And it's like we learned this about ourselves when we started this business. Like someone's got strength in this, and the other person's absolutely terrible at it. So it's like, okay, but then they're really good at this, and then that person's terrible. So it creates this like yin and yang effect where you end up working really well as a team.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, really nice to have that sort of that balance.
You could never do guest comms, could you?
Absolutely not. I'm not allowed to do guest comms. No.
He won't be chatting away. It's very blunt and to the point. I'm like, you can't be saying that.
It's just how it goes. But dynamic pricing.
I don't even know what that is.
We've got a whole academy. You teach. Oh, good stuff, guys. Well, look, thank you very much. One final question for you both. There could be someone watching this right now who is sat on the fence thinking about getting started, and they've got a million worries or concerns. What would you say to that one person? Going back to yourselves a year ago, what would you tell yourselves?
I think if you really want to do it, then you've just got to take a leap of faith. I think we had a lot of bad luck in the beginning, but a year down the line, less than a year down the line, we've now got 2 properties and looking to take on another one. And I just think, just go for it. It's something that we didn't even know existed sort of 13 months ago. And it kind of does run itself once you've got everything in place. So,
I think you've got to be patient.
You do.
So many people expect everything instantly.
They do in this life,
and
definitely.
You have to, there's a lot of work goes into it to get there. And I think once you get there, it's worth it. And you'll get a lot of knockbacks.
For sure.
But you just got to keep going.
You do. Yeah.
And we were saying about the feedback, like it's really nice when you get a nice message to say what a lovely family holiday someone's had, and that they really liked our recommendations in the welcome pack and things like that. And it's nice to think, oh, we've like contributed to that. So
you've impacted someone's holiday.
Exactly.
A really special time for them. So
I guess that's something that we probably didn't think about at the beginning, but all that little, feedback, it's quite nice when you stand back and think, oh, that's good that. Yeah.
I think it's important not to rush to get too many, in my opinion, as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it is very easy. Like you keep saying, shall we get over? And
it's addictive.
It is. It's really tempting, and it's not a bad thing, but there's a lot of juggling. When you first start off, there's a lot of juggling to do. And I think that's where some people could get overwhelmed. You've got to be organised. You've got to be on the ball and make sure.
If the systems aren't bulletproof, And if it can't run without you being there, having to drop in, then yeah, you could end up tripping over yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think but it is, once you're getting used to it, like I quite happily have more now.
Yeah. It's when you're first setting them up, it's a lot to kind of juggle, to think, have we done that, and getting all the insurance in place and everything. But once it's done, it's just, like I say, it does kind of run itself, doesn't it? Yeah, well, definitely recommend.
Amazing. Yeah, perfect. Well, thank you very much for having us, guys. It's been lovely coming and checking this place out and seeing how far you've come over the last year. Yeah, that's like the best part for us, that we get to come and meet you a year on and be like, wow, you're in your second property.
Yeah.
All those worries and bad luck that you had back then, you've forgotten about already. You know, and now you've got other worries and stuff with guests complaining and things like that. But it's so nice to reflect back on where you've come from and how far you've come as well. So really well done. We're super proud of you.
Yeah.
Thanks for all your support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.